What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Gerbic Performance Podcast, brought to you by the Baseball Blue Book. This is your host, Chase Gerbic, and today we have a very special guest, Coach Cam Vega, current assistant coach at Cisco Junior College, which is one of the best junior colleges in the country. It's located in Abilene, Texas. Cam also played at Texas Tech, and he's a very well-rounded coach, and I'm so glad he could join us today. Cam, thanks for coming on today.
Thanks for having me. For once tried to recruit you, now look at us on the podcast. So
yeah, it's so cool how everything comes full circle, and always a small world. Anybody in the baseball community knows that and can relate with that. But you guys do such a tremendous job over there at Cisco, and you've been a part of something special over there for the past few years. But nowadays, college baseball has gone into the portal direction. Talk about why players should start to explore the junior college route coming out of high school.
I think you hit the nail on the head. The portal makes it so hard now to play, I think, as a freshman. Now there's always certain scenarios where, a kid's really good. He's going to play as a freshman. He's going to play all 4 years or 3 if he's fortunate enough. But I think the importance of junior college is you need to play. You need reps. And a lot of times, with the unfortunate circumstance of the limited scholarships that a lot of, universities, D1, D2, and D3 get, it's so frustrating. So I think when you average in how much you're paying to kind of the at-bats you're getting, it just doesn't weigh itself out sometimes. We've had a guy a couple years ago, Mac Mueller, who, Whitey tried to get out of high school big time and ended up going to Rice. Rice ain't cheap. And, paid a lot and only got like three or four at bats. And so then he ended up coming here, playing all year, was an All-American, went to Baylor. Now he's with the Blue Jays. So I think at the end of the day, it's important for high schoolers to understand that you need to play, you need reps. And I think that the junior college experience really, really emphasizes that and gets you what you need. So
I love that. And I think too, even when I was a freshman at Lipscomb this last year, just walking in, guys are more physical because right now it's an older group. It's an older age of college baseball, and going that junior college route, it gets you those reps and it gets you time to put on some weight and get after it in the weight room and really hit the grindstone. Now there is, two sides of junior college. There's a lot of pros and there's also a lot of cons. Kind of give all the players and parents on this podcast both sides. Talk about the pros of junior college, and then obviously let's go into the cons and weigh those two out.
Well, I think for us, a lot of the, like I touched on earlier, the pros on you get the ability to play as a freshman. You get that opportunity, you get plenty of reps. The way we kind of have it worked out is, we're inter-squatting 3 times a week. We're able to do that, because we have less restrictions. I know like at the Division I, like when I was at Tech, you had 20 hours a week in the fall and you had to stay on track. You couldn't go overtime. When that time slot ends, you're done for the week. And so I think for us being able to not have as many restrictions, being able to be with the guys more on the field, I think that's really important for a young player's development as they get older. Because like I said, you're coming out there, you're still young, you're still a little kid. There's still a lot to learn. I think us being able to have that time with our guys is huge. Now the cons, a lot of junior colleges are in small towns. We're in a small town, but I think that's just part of it. You kind of get that freedom here. Not as much as a business, we've got the ability. So, there's pros and cons either way. I think if you try to focus too much on the cons, it's never, I don't know. I just think the biggest thing back to the pros is just you're going to play. You got a staff that can be with you. And I think that's really important for success, not having to do everything on your own, being able to have coaches out there. And, I like it now because it's slowly starting to become a first option. It used to be, D1 or bust, right? And I get that. Like, hey man, I get it. That's your dream, chase it. But at the end of the day, it's kind of businessy over there. So I think here it's slowly starting to. I'm seeing it now recruiting the 2024 classes that, hey coach, I've been wanting to go JUCO for a while now, and for me, I love hearing that because it's like, that's how it's supposed to be. So every opportunity at the next level should be taken serious, and I think trying to attach a D1, D2, JUCO, all that label to it does no good. At the end of the day, it's baseball. It's the same game you've been playing since you were a little kid. So you have a dream, chase it. And I think we just keep that door open for a lot of guys.
I love that. And I think too, just to, piggyback off that is it's important to be where your feet are. Like if you're not a D1 guy in high school and that's your dream, go to a JUCO because that's where you get better. That's where you get the reps. It's affordable, right? There is a lot of pros to that. Now for you, you've been coaching at the junior college level for quite some time now. I want to kind of go into some of the misconceptions about junior college. Have there, with your time coaching at Cisco and just being around the junior college side, are there any misconceptions about JUCO that you want to address?
Yeah, I think for us, fortunately, we're in, I would say, probably the best conference in the country. And I think a lot of times a big misconception early on was the talent level, right? Oh, I'm not good enough to go D1. I'm just going to go JUCO. I'm just hey, easy there. Like, the competition's still just as good. I mean, just in our conference alone. I mean, you're going to be facing, mid to upper 90s. You're going to face even the bottom of the barrel guys are still legit. So you're basically constant competing against good competition, high level competition. I think sometimes it's the location. Again, people always seem to think, oh, like it's JUCO, it's going to be smaller. But hey, sometimes it's better. You get more focused. And then on the academic side, I think that's one of the big questions we always have is hey, academically, what are you guys going to do? Well, for us, it's we're still a school. We're still state funded. We still have to make sure that we're on track with everything. So for us, like, algebra, math 1301 here is 1301 at Texas Tech, so the classes and stuff are able to stay with you. So I think sometimes on the academic side, that's usually the moms that ask that question.
Yeah.
I love them, but they always scare me because it's like, they always ask, where's the nearest hospital? Where's this? Where's the school? And then the dads are like, that's all they care about. So academic wise, I think that was a big misconception, I think, is they just think, oh, you're just going to show up and put your name on the piece of paper and get a 100. And some of our guys, like I got my degree in history. So I kind of helped some of our guys with their history class. And, I'm looking at their assignments. So I'm like, it's tough. This is hard. So, but those are some of the misconceptions, I think. But, on the playing side, again, I think some people overlook that competition. And it's here. It's here, especially in Texas. It's a different animal down here. So.
Yeah. I've known some buddies who have played at Weatherford, and they've always go back to Cisco. Like, that program is just tremendous every single year, and we go to war with them every single year. And that's so cool to hear that, because Texas junior college baseball is no joke. For you guys, I've seen, where you send your guys, and you develop draft guys who go Power 5. Touch on that a little bit. How good, are these recruits that come in? Are they, raw, and then you guys make them better? Like, kind of touch on, your program and how you guys been able to send so many guys to a very elite level after JUCO.
I think for us, it's just really emphasizing the relationship part with a kid. You can have all hey man, like the TrackMan, all that stuff is great. Like, I think it's baseball's changing. And I think that's part you have to adapt to that stuff. But I think no matter what facilities that you have or the resources that you've got, I think at the end of the day, if you don't have a relationship with that kid, you're not going to understand what they want and how you can get the best out of them. So I think for us, that development side, that's our number one focus, is being able to not only develop them on the field, right, but off the field, being able to understand what they want, their goals, where they want to be in the next year. And I think, once you're able to talk to them and sit down and just kind of hang out, they start to speak a little bit, and they're like, hey, coach, I want to be here, but how do I get here? And then that's kind of where we come in. And it's good or bad, right? I think with us, we try to be as upfront, honest with them as we can. Hey, give us your list. We make our guys give us their list of their 5 dream schools, and we're going to call them all, and we're going to tell them about them, and we're going to get them in the stands. Okay. And then we just tell them, you go earn their scholarship, and so, with the development side, we've got the facilities for that. At the end of the day, you reap what you sow. And we preach that to our guys all the time, is that we can have all this nice stuff, but if you don't value the time when you're around it and you're using it in those cages or in that weight room, it's going to do you no good. But we're just kind of there overlooking them, pushing them a little bit. But for us, that's just kind of how we develop. We don't do anything special. It's not like we're reinventing anything. It's still baseball.
Right.
But I think then going back to the benefit of JUCO is we get that time with them. We can be out there with them the whole year round if we need to. So
that's so cool. I think in the age we're living in now, there's a lot of schools that lack that relationship piece. And that's so important, even at the high school level, college level, and even at the pro level. There is going to be a point in players' careers where they're at their high and they're at their low. And having that relationship aspect and that honesty and transparency from the coaching staff always helps a player, no matter, how high they are or how low they are. Just giving them somebody to connect with and share their battles and their highs with is always really, really cool. Now, you've kind of touched on this, but I want to give you the floor here. Why should players want to come play at Cisco?
I love that question. That's a good one. I think there's I'll kind of give you three reasons. One, I think we have the facilities. We've got really good facilities for junior college. We've got a weight room that's just designated for baseball players. We built it a few years ago during the COVID year, and we wanted to give our guys a facility that they can use 24/7. The guys that like to be a gym rat, right? Hey, coach, I'm always lifting. Awesome. Well, man, once we get done lifting as a team, if you need to go back and lift extra, you got that for you. And when they go lift extra, they just sit by the curl machine and that's all they do. But they're doing something, right? They've got that for them. And then we have batting cages that are right next door to it. And the same thing, it's 24/7 access. We've got 2 hack attack machines. We've got 2 long tunnels and then 4 T cages. So our guys can be in there and both have speakers. So I know everyone's got to have music playing, which is always an argument on who gets on the aux cord. But we've got those facilities for those guys. We have an indoor facility just across the street, which is really neat. It was an old basketball gym. We turfed it. Now we're able to go in there. We've got a fungal man machine. So our guys, hey, coach, I want ground balls. All right, man, we'll go down there and we'll sit. And I like the fungal man. I like hitting fungal, but I also don't mind sitting there on the laptop in the chair just doing this all day. I can shoot in 30 minutes. We can go rapid fire, but that just kind of aids the development here. And then 2, like I said, back touching on it was the relationship part. You're going to have a personal relationship with each coach here. We're going to get to understand, who you are as a person, because I think that's really valuable, right? Like your mom and dad worked so hard to raise you, right? They spent a lot of money in baseball. It ain't a cheap sport. The travel, they do all that stuff. We just want to make sure that when they send you off that you're in good hands. And we really value that part. Us being out in the country, we don't try to sell us someplace that we're not. We like to hunt, fish, and golf. We love to do that. So, I was supposed to be dove hunting tonight, but we'll go tomorrow. So we went dove hunting with the guys the past week. We went 3 days last week. We shot 64 on Thursday, which is pretty good.
Wow,
so, that's a big thing for us because, hey man, like we're going to ignore baseball for a second. We're going to, this is usually after practice, right? We're going to go sit under a tree and we're just going to talk and we're just going to hang out. And I think being able to do that with your coach is so important because at a lot of programs, when practice is over, coach don't even think about calling the coach, like you get nervous, like, hey, but I think that's really valuable for us. We've got a baseball only dorm. So it's just a dorm room. It's a dorm that's just baseball players. There's no other athletes in there, no other students. And it's like a fraternity house, man. It gets wild in there. And I think the neat part about that is I live in there and our pitching coach live in there with you guys. And so that adds to the relationship part, right? We're just getting to hang out in there. Obviously there's boundaries, right? There's lines where you have to, but at the end of the day, if I'm, like tonight I made jalapeno poppers and I, made some extra for the guys and the guys that stayed in town. Hey man, I made you one here, take it. So that's pretty neat for us. And then again, back to the 24/7 facilities. I can't tell you how many times I've gone down there and they knock on my door at 11:30. Hey coach, can you throw me BP? I'm like, I got nothing else to do. Let's go do it. So, throwing batting practice at 1 a.m, like, so that's just a big part, I think. And that just adds to the whole relationship part is our offices are always open. Guys can come in there. My bedroom door, they come knocking and, hey coach, I need to talk. Shoot, I'm nervous. I'm like, oh man, like, okay, well, what do we need to talk about? Coach, my girlfriend and I are just struggling. And I'm like, oh my gosh, dude. Like, hey, yeah. So, but that's neat because I think you don't get that in a lot of programs, right? I can sit there and be like, hey, look, man, like I understand. Like, you can talk to them, right? Like, man to man and just kind of, help them as they're still young, they're still learning. So, and I think the third one is just the coaching staff. Coach White started this program 20 years ago. He's been the only head coach here. And so I think when you touched on the culture and right what people say about Cisco, it's been because of Coach White. They told him when he took this job he'd never win here. They said, you're out in the country, you're never going to win. And I think he's done her. I think he proved them all wrong. He was offered the head coach job at Tarleton, which is a Division I, and he took it. He accepted it and went to bed, woke up the next day and called him back and said, I just don't think I can leave this place. It means too much to him. And I think that's really important about this place is you have a coach that wants to be here and loves it here. He's not looking for that next ticket out. Our other assistant, Coach Jones, 30 plus years of coaching experience, actually cut Whitey. Whitey played for him. He actually cut him. And now I think it was in Indy ball or something, but they always go back and forth on that, which is funny. But Coach Jones has 8 years of head coaching experience at West Texas. He coached at Abilene Christian for a little bit. And then we have Coach Ornelas, a big-time high school prospect, pitched at A&M, finished his career at Nebraska. So he's here with us. And same thing, he really wanted this job. He really wanted to be here. So I think that's a special part about, why guys want to be at Cisco. And then, of course, myself. I mean, I've had this is my third year here. I've had a couple opportunities to leave, where there's been, significantly more pay for sure. But I don't think I'm not in this for the money. My family, I've told them that from the get-go. I'm here to just build relationships and just do what I love. And I think that's the cool part. And just the experience that we've had. This coaching staff has said Whitey's taken this program to the World Series numerous times with Jonesy, his experience. I've been fortunate enough to go to the College World Series twice with Tech. Coach Ornelas, being able to pitch in the SEC is pretty neat. So I think the whole staff together is just really special, and we all want to be here. This place is just special to us. And it's so weird when I tell people that. I'm like, look, man, like I get it. We're not the prettiest girl at the dance, but we're the girl in the center of the dance floor that everyone wants to be around. And everyone's like, hey, that girl's pretty fun. So, I think that's why you come to Cisco. The baseball side, it's going to take care of itself, right? We have the connections. We've sent just with guys looking at where we've sent all over the country, but at the end of the day, the connections, we'll get them in the stands and you go earn your scholarship. So, that's why you come to Cisco for that part. Hey, and if we win a couple games along the way, that's just part of it. It adds to it. But we try not to sell ourselves on something that we're not. Man, we're just a JUCO out in the country that just likes to hunt, fish, play golf, and win some games. So
that's so cool. I love that part. Just going out in the country and taking a break from baseball. I think right now we're living in a digital age of phones, computers, everything, and there's just so much that you just go out, relax, take a break from your phone, take a break from your computer, take a break from baseball, and just get out there and build relationships with your teammates and your coaches, and just get out there and have fun and take a break, because that sometimes it just gets so much and so repetitive that those breaks are. Especially in nature, there's something about being in nature and being with all the guys. It's just super, super cool. And I love how you guys do that.
Yeah. And you can't do it 24. That's what we try to tell all of our guys is like baseball 24/7, man, this game's too hard. It's too hard mentally to just do it all day. And so, and it's funny because we get some guys, hey, I was a city boy. I was born and raised in Frisco, Texas. Hey, I was a city boy. Okay. Now I wear camo. I got a shotgun. I can clean a dove and be like, hey, I'm sending videos to my parents all the time, like, hey, Mom, watch this. And they get all grossed out. We got guys from all over, from Pennsylvania, California, Florida, and they get out here and they're like, oh, we're kind of out here. And now they're the same thing. They're jamming country music and, hey, when are we going hunting again? And we're like, man, I like that part. That's fun. Yeah. So, if you want to hit, go hit. Then again, that goes back to the 24/7 facilities. If you want to go hit, right, you go 0 for 4, right? You struggle at the plate. As a hitter, what do you want to go do? Go hit. So go hit. The facilities, you don't have to have a coach there some places, hey, our coach locks it up. We can't go hit unless our coach unlocks it. No, like our guys have the code. They can go hit when they want. So it's got kind of the best of both worlds in the balance. And I think being in the country kind of helps us. You get that freedom a little bit. And it's always funny. You laugh, but the people always asking the question, hey, what do you do here? Or what's to do here? It's always the parents for some reason. Hey, what's there to do? What do you want to do? You want to drink? Your son's not old enough. You want to smoke? That's illegal. We'll kick you off. Right. Sometimes it's almost what they want to do. It's like, I don't think you want your son involved in that. So you got no distractions out here, unless you really look for them. You ain't got many distractions out here. So, and we just get a good group of guys, so no matter what the facilities you've got, what we tell everyone, it's not, where you are or what you have, it's who you're with. And we really value that part. So that's why we're so successful is we get good players and good people along the way.
Yeah, it seems like you guys just have a tremendous camaraderie going on there, and that's super, super cool to see. And one of my buddies back home from Ohio, when I played for Bo Jackson Elite in high school, Andrew Brock, he committed to Maryland and played a bit at Maryland, and then now he's with you guys. And he has tremendous things to say. And
Andrew Brock.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Now going into that, he's obviously a player there. What is that for all the players and parents, tuning in? What is the everyday schedule? And obviously it's different, but on average, what does the everyday schedule look like for a player at Cisco?
Yeah, so I'll kind of break it up into whether you're a pitcher or you're a position guy. So regardless what you are, we only go to class on Tuesday, Thursday. Those are our class days, Tuesdays and Thursdays. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, if you're a pitcher, what it'll look like is you usually start around 10 o'clock in the morning. And Coach Ornelas does a tremendous job in keeping our guys on a routine. You know what your throwing is for that day. You know when your game day is that week. You know when your bullpens are that week. You know when your long toss, your touch and field days are. So all of our guys are on a routine. And so Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, you'll get there around 10. You have what you're supposed to do for the day. Coach Ornelas will be down with you. We try to split our guys up into groups. That way we get more individual work. Sometimes I think when you bring everyone together, sometimes you just focus on a few guys and then the rest are kind of to the side, or it becomes too much as a coach, right? There's so many guys, you're like, I don't know who to focus on. So we try to individualize it a lot as much as we can. When we have bullpen days, what time you're throwing. We send it out the night before so that way our guys aren't waking up, not sure what they're supposed to do. They know when your bullpen times are exactly on the dot. So we try to stay as structured and organized as possible. So, once your pitchers get your play catch in, we go lift. The pitchers will lift with pitchers, position guys lift with position guys. That way it just doesn't get overwhelmed in there. And pitchers have a more pitcher-friendly workout, right, where we're able to still get them stronger, but we don't want to lose their range of motion as well. And so Coach Ornelas has them on a strength program and a workout routine as well as arm care. So once you pitchers get that done, it's around lunchtime. Go eat lunch in the cafeteria with the guys, and then the pitchers are usually free the rest of the day. A lot of our pitchers last year have tee times at 2:00 every day. They go as soon as they're done, they go tee off. So, pitchers don't have to shag batting practice or anything for us. We got position guys for that. Now, days before a game, we'll call the pitchers back that are going to be pitching that next day, and we'll go PFPs as a team, and we'll work on picks and rundowns as well. Now, for position guys on that day, you guys stretch at 1. What they'll do is they'll come in, stretch. We'll work on whatever we have to work on that day. We try not to just have to do the same things every single day where it just becomes a routine and you're just like, oh, we're doing this again. We try to switch it up and work on the things that we didn't do as well when we last played, right? If, we didn't really run the bases well this past weekend. So, ask us what we're doing tomorrow is working on base running. So, and then we hit every single day. I think one of the reasons we always, finish top in the country in hitting is because we hit every single day and we throw a lot of BP, and I'm feeling the pain from a lot of BP. So, we're always throwing. They're always going to see a live arm. Now, some days the guys want, hey, can we put on the mini hack? So we'll roll the hack attack out there, and we'll do that as well. But we hit a lot, man, a lot of BP, and our days aren't too long. We try not to keep our guys out all day, and I think I'll go back to the misconception. I think sometimes they think JUCO is a grind, right? Like, oh, it's a grind. It's not a grind. The military fighting, that's a grind.
Yeah, right.
My older sister, what she does for a living, that's a grind. Right. This is supposed to be fun. So we try not to badger them all day or anything. So, typically once we practice, we practice with the position guys. They'll go lift, and once they're done with lift, it's right around 5:00. That's practice and lift, and then after that, we get in that truck. We hop in my Kia, which I get made fun of for all the time. We hop in Whitey's truck, and we have a caravan all the way out there to the farm, and we go shoot some dove. And some of the guys that want to stay back, go in the dorm, play video game. Brock's a big video gamer, so you guys kind of have that the evening to yourselves, and that's pretty much it. Nothing crazy. Tuesday, Thursday is obviously class day, so we start at 2:00, right? That way we give them time after class to, get some lunch, get some food in them, and then we do that. So we're not really big on keeping guys for 10 hours a day or any of that. That's just too much. We want to give you guys freedom to, once again, go to class, right? Do your schoolwork. That's part of it. If we practice, if we lift at 9 a.m., to 11, and then you go eat lunch, and then you come back for practice, and then we do this after, it's like, hey, you still got to go to class. We still want you guys to enjoy college a little bit and have that freedom for yourself. So that's typically a day. Like I said, it's nothing too crazy, nothing out of the ordinary. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's what Whitey says. So we've been doing the same thing for 20 years. So we try not to reinvent the wheel too much. So.
Yeah, I think that you guys do a tremendous job on that, because when you do practice for, 8 or 10 hours, like you said, or, 6 to 7 hours, just the intent just isn't there. It goes away. And at a certain point, you really have to start valuing quality over quantity, because you want the guys to get the most out of what they're doing. And so I really admire that you guys do that. Now for you, to close this thing out, you've been around the game for a while. You play at a very, very high level, and now you're coaching at one of the best junior colleges in the country. For players looking to play at the next level, what would you tell them, and any other thoughts to close this thing out?
I tell everyone the same thing, man. Just do the little things right. When you show up, make sure you have your full uniform. Make sure your shirt's tucked in. Make sure you have a belt. Don't make sure you have water. Make sure you have Gatorade. Don't have mom, dad bring it to the dugout for you. Don't be making trips out there, man. You're there to play and just have fun. This game will chew you up and spit you out really, really quick. And so I think being able to find the positives and build on those, I think that's really important for especially the younger generation. I think I see it a little bit. Baseball's starting to change a little bit too much, where kind of kids they kind of focus on themselves a little bit, right? All the accessories, which I get. Hey man, it looks cool. I wish I had the sliding mitt a little bit. It kind of looks cool. Make sure but I think, just understanding that this is a team game, and that you just have to have fun with it. At the end of the day, this isn't about your success. It's about the team's success. And it's kind of flip. When the team does good, then it starts to benefit you. So, and I think that's just kind of the importance of the guys that we bring into Cisco, is that, that when they do have success, and I think the cool part is they always come back. And I think you don't get that at many other junior colleges, let alone some big universities. Our guys always come back in the fall. And our shortstop a few years ago is at Baylor now, and he always made some trips back in the fall. He left his weekend out in Waco to come hang out with the guys again at Cisco. I think that says a lot about our program and what Coach White has done with this place. We had he had a player 2 weeks ago. He had a player that played here 7 years ago. I think it was quite a while back. He came. He said, "Hey, Coach, I'm just driving through. Let's go hunt." So he hopped in the car and went to go hunt like old times again. And he has former players bring their kids. Hey, man, Whitey, I wanted you and my son, and it's kind of cool. Makes Whitey feel old, Right? He feel a little older, but I think that's just what's so special about this place is that guys come here and they always say the same thing. Hey, man, like when I first got here, I wasn't quite sure, and by day 2, I was like, I knew I'm at the right place, and so. It's just kind of what it is. So, it's special to where the guys enjoy wearing that CC, and we're always getting new gear. I'm still young, so I'm kind of pushing Whitey a little bit on the. Yeah. We're able to get some new shirts, some new stuff. So I'm always coming up with new ideas, and so he's been big on it and trying to keep up with everyone. So it's a pretty neat deal. So
that's so cool. I mean, too, like everybody I've talked with, former teammates and even players I've been able to connect with over the past few years from GP. It's, from all the guys who went JUCO, it's, man, I've created so many relationships, and a lot of my best friends are from that junior college, and that's so cool because it's like a family. You're all there for a sharing the same goal and the same aspirations, and it's so cool, and it's just like a family, which is so awesome. And you guys are just doing an incredible job out there in Cisco. But Coach, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on today. I'm so glad we were able to get you on. And just thank you for sharing all your insight so far. And we look forward to keeping tabs on you guys.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate it. I'm glad you're doing well. So it's obviously try to recruit you a little bit, but I'm happy for you. And I think you're doing a great job. So just, man, keep it up and we'll keep staying in touch. So.
Absolutely. Well, everybody, this is Coach Cam Vega from Cisco Junior College. Coach, it's been an absolute pleasure. You guys are tuning in to the Gerber Performance Podcast, brought to you by the Baseball Blue Book. Let's go. That was awesome.